There's a difference between lovemaking and getting fucked. When someone fucks you, they defile you. You must acknowledge the role you play in the desecration. To be fucked means there is an absence of love. Then, what does it mean to include love? It means you both find value in the union and treat it as a spiritual offering, giving from one to the other. Reciprocal, considerate service.
And we're on. Take one. Artocast.
Guys, don't throw the ball. Because if
Yeah,
you do,
don't.
she will
That's
never
And avoid, no,
you
it's fine for
alone.
him because,
Yeah,
but like for them.
Yeah, well then you're fucked. Well, that's the thing. She'll also run down to that on purpose. Or step on like I did. But we have a new stand now. Are we on?
Yes.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome back, and you're welcome for being here.
Whoa.
You're welcome back to being here, Sean. Thank you for showing up.
Thank you.
Sean
Glad
Mitchell,
you
pro
made it.
skater of Palo Peralta in 1996-97.
94.
Look it up. Google it.
No.
Pro
Where's the
skater.
Google?
None of it's true.
Sorsha, creator, artist, model.
Past tense. Once
Rock
upon.
hound.
Once upon a now.
There you go. Right.
Remember that other one? Once upon a pole. I feel
Oh,
like
yeah.
I'm gonna keep using
Once
that
upon a
one.
pole.
Once upon a what? Can we? You okay with that? Once upon
Yeah, I mean that's a real thing for
It's a
me.
real thing.
All right.
I was also on a pole once, but couldn't go up. I had to slide down.
Yeah. Just find your center
Down
of
a pole.
I
gravity.
prefer to go down. I'm a vegetarian.
We're going different directions. Let's
Well,
talk.
we're going the right direction.
Okay.
You got to go down to get up.
Okay.
Yes.
All
Let's
right.
talk to this person.
Yes,
No.
another
Sorry.
episode of
Sound
Artocast.
check.
Number 80.
We got a
Almost
great person here
getting closer to 100.
who writes poetry and probably a billion other things and has.
Oh, the artist of art.
We're not going to talk about it.
We're not yet.
Wait, she'll tell you. It's Addie.
What she go
Addie.
by?
Addie, don't let me say
Dog
it.
is
Siren Rider, bro.
Hold on, guys.
Siren.
It's okay.
Dog.
Here we go.
You need
Whoa.
security. You need
That dog is stuck
security.
on her hoodie.
Really?
His nail is stuck
got it.
on.
Oh, yeah, no.
I was
You're
supposed to
be
clip
helping
those
out.
nails
I
today,
got him
bro.
off the leg, dude.
Jack.
Here we go.
Sean edits everything, so
Oh,
all is,
yeah,
all
you're
is
good.
good.
Edits. We have edits.
It's live. Go live.
Hi, Frida.
Hey.
Hi,
Hello,
Siren.
hello.
Welcome to Artocast.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for finally being on the damn show.
It's a pleasure to be here. I'm honored.
I've been asking for a long time. I know we've never had time to get it, but now we got to.
I'm so excited. This is super
You
fun.
guys, I love this girl. She's a poet.
World.
Squirrel? I love this.
Squirrel.
I love this world. I love this
squirrels.
world, and I love a squirrel. Squirrel. I love that you're here.
Thank you. I
You're
love being here.
a good, great friend of mine.
I broke rule number 1 in Artocast.
You stared at her eyes.
Oh.
Well,
You're
that's
supposed
gonna
to do
happen
the eyeballs?
with this one.
Why don't
Oh.
you
No,
do
no, no.
eyeballs?
I broke my own rule number 1 with guests is telling them be weary of the pepperonis.
Oh.
Yeah,
They're part
that's
of
why
the
they're
show.
here.
I see.
Because I fucked up.
That's okay. We manifested some pups in our life.
Whoa.
I want to be
Okay.
on the show.
Yeah, yeah,
So Adrienne
Roten.
Roten. Okay, I did say it correctly. I just tagged the wrong
I
artist.
couldn't see.
We're on a first name basis.
Yeah,
Yes.
Addie.
Yes. And you go by Siren Writer.
Writing.
Siren Writing on Instagram.
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. So, we see that you have a lovely book here. Where is it, Dano?
Publisher, writer, artist, and you can find this on Amazon.
Yes, you can.
Which
Beautiful.
we will put it in the link below if I know how to do it.
Oh.
But Sean Mitchell, the pro skater of 96-97, Palo Peralta. If you don't believe me, Google it. We'll put it down.
Super fun.
Nope.
Let me check this out.
Dude,
Okay.
It's beautiful.
So, I'm excited
It's
to...
almost a year to the day when you gave me that book.
Really?
Yeah, I just saw the front book
Dang.
page.
Did we date it?
First book,
Yeah,
second
you
book.
dated it this
Oh, I
day you
love
signed
it.
it. It's on the
Okay.
first page.
I love
life.
that.
See?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
Third,
yeah, I
Thanks for your friendship.
remember.
I hope you find your wiener soon.
I couldn't remember how to write wiener.
That's all right.
I was like,
I can't find my wiener still.
Wiener is wiener, but it's
Yeah,
happening.
December 2nd, 23.
Dang.
Yeah.
Love that. Look at that. Everything coming full circle,
Yeah.
which is interesting because you have a Gemini moon.
Sure do.
Interconnectivity. Love that journey for you.
Thank you.
Gemini is also turntables. Sorry.
Okay, so many questions. I specifically, as soon as I went to your profile to do my little detective investigation work, I read like the brief bit at the top, and I saw, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is like a deep dark abyss. I'm gonna get lost in. Like I'm never coming out of this black hole." So
called it. Called it.
Did you?
I did, because I thought with you here on with us now, and her being here now, y'all gonna be like this thing, and I'd be like, yeah, great, new moon.
I'm excited
Stars,
about it.
crystals, things.
I'm very excited to learn more about you.
Awesome.
Yeah, so if you've been following the recent episodes, I definitely tap into some of the same, we have like-minded interests, so we share a lot of that.
Yes.
So, non-traditionally, we don't typically start this way, but I'm going to start with...
Docking
We're not
cocks.
anti-gay. You can be gay.
No, it's okay to be gay. I'm just saying it's docking cocks. You got, I mean, docking. You guys connect.
Oh. We have dicks. Got it. I accept.
I wish
Yeah.
I could find mine.
Silicone ones.
Like a book
Yeah,
sale.
yeah. I'm like psychological. I'm like big dick energy up here. I'm like access like level unlocked.
Fucking true, bro. She's
Fucking
dope.
yeah.
You're
Challenge accepted. Anyone? Okay. Okay. So a couple of fun, a little off the top. Top 3. Knowing that your moon is in Gemini.
Yes. Oh, I am a Capricorn sun, Gemini moon, Taurus rising.
Woo! That's that shit that I love. Okay.
All right. For the people who don't know what that means,
Yes.
what does that fucking mean? What,
Okay.
what's breaking? If you guys could do the
Orange juice crayon. Chin chin.
yeah, if you guys can explain what
Orange
Right?
juice cranberry.
Orange
My
juice
God.
and cranberry.
sober.
Ocean cranberry.
Queen.
Okay.
What? So what does the Capricorn unicorn jump over a horn candlestick? Yeah, what does that mean that you guys said that you both were like, "Woo, Broncos won Super Bowl"? Like, what does that mean?
Well, I'm going to let her know my top 3 first. And then, because this is one of her areas of expertise, I'm going to let her take it away for once in this arena. That's very exciting for me. So I'm a Virgo sun, right? Scorpio moon.
I'm not against it.
Does that shit make sense now?
My
You know what
7th house is in Scorpio, so that's why we vibe.
Okay, yeah, right.
Long-term friendships.
What's going on?
Sagittarius rising.
Game of
Spleens.
Thrones, bro.
Flame. Yeah.
What's your Venus?
Libra.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What language is it?
Cancer and Gemini.
Oh.
Or, I'm sorry, Cancer and Jupiter. I'm sorry.
Okay, there we go.
Cancer and Jupiter,
They
right?
play poker a lot.
Interesting.
I know. Woo! Baby, let's send it. So I'm going to let you take that little intro to explain to these wonderful gentlemen what that
Okay.
means
Thank
for
you.
you. Because that's part of your
Okay.
area of
Yeah.
expertise.
Well, I wouldn't
Thank
say
you.
it's an area of expertise per se. I would call myself a hobbyist or an enthusiast more than anything because I'm not an astrologer. I just enjoy the astrology.
Forever learning.
Yes, forever
not
learning.
just a G.
Yes, and during COVID, I
Kingston?
had a lot more in me.
All right.
Yes. But you don't keep up on it, you forget some of it. But for the most part, my Capricorn sun, I have a stellium in Capricorn. So that just means
So
you've
does
got
Jack.
multiple planets. Too many planets probably in one house. So you're going to have an emphasis on that type of energy in your life. For me, it's in my 9th house, which is philosophy and religion and higher education and learning and stuff like that. So I get to kind of take my Capricorn traits, which are, it's a cardinal sign, so you're more likely, you're not really as fixed as like the Taurans, or you're not really as mutable as maybe a Virgo, but the Virgos are super fun. I do like a Virgo vibe, but I
Doesn't
do
that
have the
Virgo
Taurus in my
mean not
chart, and so
balanced?
the Capricorn,
No.
the sun, the journey of the sun, from what I've learned and what I remember about it, it's more just your journey of who you're becoming and who you're trying to grow into. So it's kind of like your life's purpose. When people are like, well, what's your purpose? It's like, well, what are the traits of a Capricorn? They're grounded and they're reliable.
Jack!
They're hardworking and
An access denied, friend.
Excellent.
The Capricorn doesn't mean get on the horn, you horny
he wants some
fucker.
of the magic. Huh.
Don't we all?
He's like, talk about, yeah.
Jack, calm down.
Yeah. Somebody
Jack,
needs to
off!
show me
Hey,
like
no!
He's all embarrassed. It's okay, buddy.
Look
It's
what you,
he's so
look what
embarrassed.
you did, you little jerk.
He's like,
You're not a jerk. Don't let me be mean to you.
He's the coolest man.
no. He's a sapiosexual. He's attracted to intelligence.
Oh, we love you.
So
What's that called?
That's a sapiosexual.
I wish I was smart enough to know that.
Sapiosexual.
Yeah. A sapiosexual is when you're attracted to when you can learn from someone or like experience new things. I'm a sapiosexual.
I love Bob Vila.
Yeah. So Jack, in solidarity with, being attracted to.
Yes,
what
I
you can
must
learn
be
from.
attracted to Bob Vila.
Right. Okay. So for people who are newly interested in investing time and learning about. I have this common question all the time, is that your horoscope? Is that astrology? Is that astronomy? No, astronomy is the study of stars. Astrology is the study of your planetary alignment as it relates to the stars. That's your zodiac,
Yes.
and your horoscope is read by a reader daily or weekly or monthly. So just so you know, they're all different.
I just learned that
And
now. I just learned
your
that now.
horoscope, you should be basing it off of your rising sign, not your
Not
sun
your
sign.
sun sign.
It's gonna be inaccurate.
Yeah, and so,
Man.
hello, Frida. Yes, solidarity with you too.
Oh, good to
This dog knows.
Yes, she does.
She can read palms. Look at her hand.
She's
palm
yeah.
reader in the house.
She's a pause reader, but okay.
So how would you introduce? So in the way that I was just trying to break that down,
Yeah.
how would you introduce your like 3 houses? Like your when I just said what's your top 3? So that's your sun, moon, and rising. But like, how would you break down sun, moon, and rising for somebody who's beginning to learn?
Capricorn.
Yep. So your sun's gonna be kind of your life's journey, where you're going, you'll be most fulfilled and you'll see the most success when you really bring to life the inherent traits of that sign. So for me, learning to embrace my Capricorn nature is really helping me a lot, because I got my Gemini moon, which is your emotional world and anything underneath the surface that's not visible. It's your own inner darkness or whatever. Can be darkness, doesn't have to be. And then your rising sign is how people who don't know you, your surface level interactions, how they kind of perceive you and first kind of get to know you in that way. So based on my big 3, Capricorn sun, Taurus rising, Gemini moon, I would say that I'm a sassy, stubborn brat who is full of love and attention, and I'm really super duper sweet, but if you try me, motherfucker, I got hands.
Woo! She said it.
Hands.
Heard. My Scorpio moon is like.
Put them hands away.
My Scorpio moon in the ether is just like yes.
No fucking pervert DMs on this girl, because she would knock you the fuck out.
In the most ethereal of ways.
Yeah, I mean, you'll thank me for it later. You might like it.
I love that.
Da-na-na.
I'll
Okay,
do it sweetly.
so you are a magician and magical being of so many mediums. What is your what are your top 3 things that you're creatively into or studying or focusing on right now?
Great question. Poetry is my main love, my number
too.
1 focus. I've been writing poetry since I was 10 years old. My aunt inspired me. I watched her write poetry. And
You don't only just write. You also speak poem. Like you say it out loud at poetry readings.
I do.
You do some
spoken
poetry
word.
slam?
Oh,
does.
I do
Invite
spoken
me.
word.
She does.
I'm not the most confident at it, but I've been getting better at it.
Oh shit.
To the point where
Okay.
when you videotape me, you cannot see me shaking because I keep that shit very tight, But I'm getting better.
Well,
My voice-
That's a big deal.
Where do you
better.
spoke your words at?
She speaks
I
words.
go to coffee houses usually.
Oh, cool.
Like High Point Coffee is my main. I like High Point Coffee. There's also Sugar House Coffee is pretty good.
Oh, yeah?
They get a huge crowd.
That's where you live, right above
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, tit for tit, Frida.
it. What's that?
I want to
Yeah.
know when.
It's like meeting each other in the middle. She's my girl.
Oh. I'm gonna get in her lap.
Yeah, I would love to come see you. Do you have any events coming up that you're going to be doing spoken word on?
Not this year.
Is there any on your Insta or?
I had some on my
Is there
Insta.
anything? Is there any?
Like
you
where
said
you're
that weird.
spoken word?
Do you have any Insta?
Yeah, I know
Like
that.
instant fucking
Where can we-
coffee?
we
Like
can
what
see
the fuck
that?
you talking?
You doing your spoken word?
I could unarchive it.
Okay.
But I actually just recently, a few days ago, I archived all my open mic videos on my profile because I was just. I reread my old work and I watch my videos and I just cringe. I don't know if it's just the
Put it
artist
back
in you
up.
that's forever disappointed,
Put it
but
back up.
No, I do have a couple videos. If you don't mind, I'll put them up as B-Real. If that's cool.
Yeah.
Can you send it to me?
I will. That's
Girl,
the
your
point.
breath with deep love and respect.
But I do have some. They're not
Fuck.
online right now, but they were.
Hey, Creighton, will
I
you
just
give
get
this
a little
beautiful
embarrassed.
doggy
I'm like,
some
I hate
carrots?
everything that
Well,
I did. Ew,
I'm
what
gonna
is
use
this?
Just open the bag. Treats?
I kind of do a
Go.
little.
Treats.
I kind of do a.
She's like, this
You're
is my time to
obsessed.
shine.
I do a video afterwards all the
This
time.
is-
Just down to
This is
top
most
shelf on the
success
fridge,
Frida's
sir.
ever been with me.
Go.
I love you. Bye.
Go. Get some carrots.
It's gonna be
Ooh,
about
all right.
Addie at the very end.
Da-na-na.
Easily distracted over here.
So you also have new publishing coming out.
Yes, I do.
Soon.
I have a new book that is coming out. It was supposed to have already been published in August, but then I was getting ready to publish my manuscript, and there was just... Anyone who has created anything, any type of art form, understands the feeling that you get when you finish something. Because it's like a knowing, okay? Like when I wrote this book, I knew that it was done because I felt good. I was like, fuck yeah, let's get this up and out. And then with the other one, I just didn't feel right. I was like, I can't share this. And I thought about it, and I was like, I'm taking this book a completely wrong direction. So originally the book was going to be centered, it was also going to be poetic writing, but it was going to be centered around my journey with surviving sexual assault. And something about, I don't dislike any of the writing in particular, but I didn't like the journey that the book was going to take the reader on. I felt like it wasn't an empowering place for a survivor to be. So I thought about how can I share my story in a way that sheds light on a subject that I think is a very popular, unfortunate thing that happens all day, every day. But we do not talk about it all day, every day. And maybe it's because it feels disempowering, or you feel too scared or too shy to ask someone about it, or you don't want to ruffle up emotions, or, you don't want to pry, or you don't want to, like, re-traumatize someone, or maybe you don't want to traumatize your friends with your trauma,
Or, yeah, exactly.
That's a real one.
You don't know what it's actually, the trauma really is, and you don't want to touch it in the wrong way to ask about it. Yeah. Instead of just going, sidetrack, you know what I mean? Like, sidestep to a situation, which is hard for the person who's gone through it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many friends you've had through family, knowledge, relationships.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had that situation, I'm like, okay, so am I not allowed to pull hair? Like, in my mind, that's kind of stupidity, dumb guy, but how
question.
do you have the discussion? How should you have the discussion? But also with what you're writing kind of opens the idea of having that discussion.
Yes, that's
What a brilliant question.
So it's
First
an
of all, let me
idea
commend you
of
on
the
that.
discussion. It's the right way.
Yes, there's a new
Are
way
you
I'm
feeling
going
it
about
for yourself? That
Yes,
there
I'm
you go.
still writing the book. It's not quite finished yet because when I was going through it, I keep doing that. But
There
when
you
I
go.
was editing my work, I omitted probably 67% of it. And so I'm almost starting from scratch, but not quite. But I've got most of it ready, so it'll come out next year. But the reason why I wrote it is because sometimes it's hard to have those conversations with your friends and family. And so kind of the same way I wrote this book for people who have survived depression or are going through depression, they can either find some sort of, you get me. Because that's huge for someone who feels like they're alone and no one gets them and no one's understood what they're going through and they have no one to talk to about it. This is a great way for you to feel connected to
I love
someone.
that.
Because that's what music does for me. I've been sad and this bitch don't know me, but she fucking makes me so happy. You know? Like, I love that. And at the same time, same with this book, is what I want to do with the next one is I want to make it a resource so that if you have survived trauma and you want to bring up the discussion to someone, you can be like, hey, you know how we were going to have that conversation? Maybe this will help you understand me a little bit better. Maybe this will help you understand how to be a good friend or be a good partner to me.
I love that. I think that's fucking brilliant and
I think
so
so, too.
needed. I'm so grateful for you stepping up to the plate to do something like that because it takes an incredible amount of courage and bravery to be in that position. And also the amount of pressure I cannot fathom trying to dissect your experience and separate it from the self-awareness level. Let me just commend you, first and foremost, by separating, how am I venting and sharing my experience, also not triggering and traumatizing, but also sharing and being true to myself, but also navigating a way for my readers to make this like a healthy, positive, like how am I making this a seed and burying it.
And make
It's
it fun
alchemy.
at the same
Yeah.
You
time.
know what I mean?
That's-
You are a
that's a
powerful
goddamn
creator.
good-
Taking something horrible
Right.
or making fucking art out of it. That's
I love
beautiful.
that. I think it's so
A
beautiful.
jagged
Healing.
little pill.
It's healing for me. Like
I
when I
love
wrote
that.
this book, I felt so much more healed, and my journey with my depression is so much better just because I wrote this. And artists are the only
Absolutely.
ones who would understand. But
Absolutely.
with my next book, I'm hoping it'll help me with the same thing because I'm currently going through legal processes with one of the people who inspired the book for the assault that he did against me. Can't really talk about it because we're still going through the court.
Sure.
Allegedly. Apparently.
It's just
They say
I
that
don't
in
know.
Facebooks.
I'm excited, and I think it'll be. I hope, anyways, that it's a good resource for people because it is
Yeah, that's
very
fantastic.
difficult to talk about these things.
I believe it is. I mean, that's kind of why you're here, not just because we're friends.
Yeah.
But honestly, the point of what you do has opened my view alone because I'm an idiot. I mean, what I mean, like, it's a different story when you talk to someone you care about and they talk about it, like, oh, I don't know anything about that shit.
Yeah.
I'm just here to be the go-lucky,
Yeah, you're like,
you know
I'm
what I
your friend,
mean?
I'm
But
here to support you.
at the
but
same
I'm your
time, you're like,
therapist,
hey, I don't mean to bum you
yeah.
down, but I've gone through this, but if you feel awkward, let's talk.
Well,
Yeah.
and you know what I really do
I love
want to
it.
commend you on, actually, is your question just a few moments ago when you were like, well, how do we talk about this without triggering it, or how do we not answer
Right.
pose the wrong idea, you know? And what I want to say, and I would love for your response as well, when and if you're ready, but just to put it simply, is asking if the person wants to talk about it first and foremost, and if they're ready about it, and then being available and say, I have some questions. I'm like
Right.
really curious about your experience, and I want to be here to support you. How can I show up for you?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So I have this one friend, shout out to Elle Stanger. She's sex
Stanger.
positive. Elle Stanger, she's stripper writer.
Oh,
Sex
fuck.
positive, amazing, incredible human being, artist, dancer, advocate. She and I have this habit that I love is like now leaking out into the rest of my life and my conversations. And it's before I just unload or like vent something like, oh my God, you know what just happened? Like I used to do. I'm like, hey, first I always ask, how are you to somebody? Like before,
That's huge.
let me
Yeah.
hear about where you're at first. And then the other thing is, man, it's so good to hear your voice. Also, are you available for me to unload? Like, can I just speak freely right now? Can I be like transparent? Like, can I just fucking unleash? And sometimes she'll be like, you know what? Actually, I have a meeting that like I need to mentally prepare myself for, or like I'm meeting a client. She's I don't know if she still does full service sex work, but like, you know, that's like a whole thing too. And she's like, you know what? Like I can't go into that headspace. And I actually like I encourage everybody to follow her because she has the most healthy relationship with sex and dancing and sex workers and FOSTA, SESTA information to decriminalize it. And yeah, she's very fascinating.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
But she, again, I digress. She is always reminding me to ask permission. So basically consent always. Like instead of just like even just being present around people, like energy is like so intense and real for some people. I can tell that you're empathic as well. And it's just like, hey, are you ready for me to like, are you available? And if not, then like we have like a more casual conversation and catch up. So
Yeah.
that would be my brief, immediate answer for
Yeah.
you. Is like, let me know if you want to talk about it. Can I pose some questions?
And here's also like the smallest detail in something especially like myself when you're talking to someone. I said sexually, that was weird. Socially. What I'm saying is that like when you say, hey, how's it going? There's a difference of like, well, honestly, shit gone down the hole. And like, fuck, could you just say it's being good so we can have a great moment? You know what I mean? But I understand when someone needs to talk, you better fucking open your ears up for that person in your life to talk.
Fair.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But there's also given so much.
Freedom wants to
Yeah,
talk.
kind of like the balance between that is
Yeah.
going to be like where you go, hey, how are you? And I feel like if you're going to ask someone a question, you should be ready to hear an honest answer. Why would you want someone to lie?
Again,
But-
small talk
but-
is small talk when
But
it comes to folks.
I understand because I've been doing that where I want to practice what I preach. So when people ask me, hey, how are you? And I'm not doing good, I've learned how to not go off on a tangent and just respond, oh, today's been rough. And then that leaves it open to you. Do you have space? Now you can choose to ask me
today
to
may not be
elaborate.
the moment, but I'll give you a hug
could be
now.
like- yeah,
Let's
you could-
enjoy the moment now.
You could be like, oh, damn, that sucks, bro. Let's talk about it later. I gotta go. Love you, bye. Or
Yeah,
you could be
right.
like, shit, what's going on, girl?
Yeah.
Tell me more.
But even
You
some of
know?
the give me more is sometimes the fact that they're not paying it. They're just like, oh, you need to talk. Go.
Yeah.
Back to it.
But I
do
love asking
groceries.
for
I gotta,
consent.
do this
Yeah.
and that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a time to actually listen instead of just being, square with anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, being an
Loved
ear.
ones, family
yeah.
is like one of those biggest things that you have to.
Oh.
Friends are
if
also
you-
the ones you
yeah.
want to keep them around. Pay attention. If you're not seeing them fucking socialize, that's the time to fucking listen.
Yeah.
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 Really.
Yeah, if somebody stops posting on their Instagram account or,
Acting weird, their behavior changes. so
Right.
It's
Yeah.
noticeable.
Right.
it's a good time to do that.
Yeah.
It's a good time to go, hey man, let's what's the fuck is really going on?
Yep.
So,
There's
excellent
a how
question.
are you? But like,
I really appreciate that question, where you were asking, like,
Right.
how do we,
Yeah,
how do
that's
we
a great
ask?
question.
Like, that's
That's a very important question. Actually.
yeah, that's the question that you ask,
how we
is
build
how
bridges,
do I
you know?
ask, So you ask people like that if they're like, dude, I'm just freaking out, something just happened to me, I went through this, be like, let me know. Something I always say is, let me know how I can show up for you.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's a distraction. Sometimes that's like being an ear. Sometimes they want feedback. Sometimes they don't. So if somebody vents to you and they're like willing to like unleash, that doesn't necessarily mean that they want your advice or
Yeah.
feedback. So that is a time.
is really what most people don't understand is that
You gotta ask,
sometimes you need
do
to
you
shut
want
the fuck
advice
up. You
or
don't
do you
need
want me to
advice.
just
No,
support
no.
you, you know?
Sometimes if you don't know the fucking answer, don't
Oh.
give one.
Thank you. Just
Don't-
say, this is beyond my comprehension. I can't help you further.
I am not on that page today because I've fucking been drinking it, or I'm having a great moment, or I just got a blowy, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, and if someone's in the wrong spot, you notice it. Go, we need to talk later.
Yeah.
Right now may not be time for me to listen, but don't. What can I do? Like, don't play it off. Don't.
I can get the dogs if you want.
Like my dogs are saying right now. They're all talking about like, I want more carrots, and I'm like, guess what? There ain't no time for that shit right now, dog.
So I love that, and that is a beautiful topic that we can absolutely like dive into on like I think deserves its own attention and like its own.
That's a whole
separate-
hour-long conversation
Sure.
right there.
Yeah. So let's
have them.
let's talk a little bit more about your other passions and interests that like got you. What kind of sprung this? How do I want to word it? The first thing that comes to mind is ethereal bliss, swan diving into it, like kind of meeting yourself in your own power. So, and something I said to you prior to us like sitting down off camera, it was just brief and in passing. You said something that related to.
To abortion?
You said something to. We can
Oh,
dive
yeah. We're often meanest to the people we love the most.
in. Yes, you had mentioned that, and I had only
Love you,
was
Mom.
in earshot, and I wasn't entirely certain what you were referring to. I was in passing, and I was like, the details don't matter, but what I was saying is, I'm sure you understand better than most, because you don't actually swan dive into healing work unless you've experienced. In my limited
You're on the money, girl.
but blossoming experience, I feel that in order to dive into the arenas that we're most invested in right now, as light workers, healers, and witches, essentially, I don't know how you identify, but you have to have seen some fucking shit. Like, you have been in the church while it was burning type shit.
That's great.
To get where we're at, you
Yes,
know? Or to
absolutely.
invest truly, like, in your heart and
Yeah.
soul, like,
You
in your
burning
mind.
witches!
Just, like,
It's been a
I'm like-
rough upbringing.
But
I've
again-
had therapists tell me that I should write a book about my life.
Actually, you told me
And I
that.
told them I wrote a portion about it. Like,
Again,
here's a
right.
section of my
That
life.
was a conversation in the past we had.
Yeah.
a multitude of books. You've got a lot, then.
I think they called volumes.
I have a series of. I have a Google Doc that's just swarming,
I believe it.
teeming with just
Like a blogger?
So-
unfinished manuscripts.
So
Yeah.
I suppose the root of my question stems from when in your lifetime did you start being like, I want answers from the universe or my higher self or my future self, so I'll start pulling cards? Or like, was there like a shift or something that happened, or like were you just inherently, because I always was, I kind of intuitively feel like you have been as well, just by nature. But when did you start like really investing your time and energy and like self-source into exploring like your God's given talents? God's
My witchy side.
Yes.
My witchy side, my tarot side, and all that.
Yes.
Well, I went down that journey. You were too much fun. I went down that journey in 2020 because I had a lot of downtime. I lost my job during COVID and all that.
Didn't we all?
Hey. So I had some downtime, but before that, I've had tarot cards. Like one of my, I don't know how the family tree works, but my aunt's cousin is a tarot reader.
So your second cousin,
Yeah. So. And he's super queer. We love him. I just want to throw that out there because he was like the first gay man I ever knew for like a very long time.
Mine was my dad.
Are you from Utah?
Cape Town, South Africa.
Okay, I have a friend in
it's very
KwaZulu-Natal.
religious. Oh yeah, that's like neighboring. Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Joshua.
KwaZulu-Natal.
KwaZulu-Natal.
How's it?
How's it?
Hoe gaan het, bra? Yeah.
You speak
Love it.
Afrikaans. Yes. Okay, cool. Beautiful.
Bye, Vicky. Yeah.
So that kind of got you kind of more involved with it to open mind.
But COVID happened, but it wasn't just COVID. I hadn't gotten sober yet, so I was deep in the depths of my drinking.
Ooh,
And,
you were deep in the bottle.
So I was searching, you guys. I was searching for some meaning. I was searching for some help, and I needed something. And I have a religious upbringing, religious history. So
That'll fuck you up.
So I was like, there's got to be something. And then the tarot card just made sense because I had that experience when I was younger, you know, watching my second cousin or whatever do tarot readings for me, for the rest of the family, watching my very religious grandma get upset about the devil that he brought into the home, all that fun stuff. And I'm a little bit of a rebel, so I was like, I mean, regardless if Jesus or God is real or not, I think he's real. I've had some time to, and I don't think he's a he. I think that's a very colonial way of thinking about God.
100% white man bullshit.
But I think God is an energy, but that's beside the point.
He looks like Osama bin Laden, technically.
I was looking for something to help me just get through my hard times because I was having a hard time getting through it, and I was like, well, I used to pray to God, but I don't receive any answers. You know, like I pray and it's like I'm talking to the walls. You know, like it just echoes. And then I got into tarot and I just had this, I don't know how to describe it, but like when you meet your dog or you meet a cat on the street and you're like, this motherfucker's coming home with me.
Fuck yeah.
It's like you just know, like, or like when you see someone at the bar, you're like, damn, I'm going home with him tonight. Whatever it is, okay? That's kind of what it felt like, where I was like, you know what? I'm just drawn to the tarot. So I was doing some tarot readings, and it was clear as day that there are a lot of fake witches out there.
Ugh. I projectile vomit across the room and then go back to the interview.
They prey. Let me use the right word. They prey on people, on vulnerable people.
Oh.
And it's disgusting.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for them, I'm too observant. Like, I might be just like any other person who might get caught up in something and be like, oh, this is really fun. Ooh, let's go. And then until I see it, and I'm like, oh, shit. No, we're doing the wrong thing. Let's go back over this way, you know? And so I noticed that, and I just didn't really trust all my sources. And I was like, if they're reading for a general audience, and I'm resonating with some of it here and there, what can I pull from myself?
Right.
And so I went and I bought my first deck. I went to
that was going to be my next question.
Okay, hold on, stop real quick. Can we pause this real quick? I'm going to get you a treat. I need to use the restroom real quick.
Okay.
Really badly.
Okay.
Alright. Whenever you want.
Hey, your first tarot cards. Tell us how the first time that worked.
Okay, so when I bought my first deck, I meandered on over to the Native American store.
Native American Trading Post?
Yes, the Trading Post.
Native American Trading Post off of Redwood. I shouted them out once before, I think.
47th or 41st?
Sponsor your girls.
North,
yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, go support the natives.
Yes. Authentic store. Okay, so you went there. Beautiful place to get your products.
And I didn't even go in for a tarot deck. I was just going in for incense and sage.
I didn't even know that they sold tarot decks there.
I don't know either, but I was just browsing for my incense and I was looking at the
They
little
also sell
sage
Bibles
bundles.
there, though, too. Like, it's
Oh.
everything.
Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah.
That's such a weird flex.
Right? For a Jewish company? Yeah. I don't really know. Just
No, they're not. I know the owner.
no
No, it's
way.
authentically a Native American trading post. Shout out to Derwin
It's really
in the
neat.
crystal shop.
Oh, I love their crystal shop.
I
Yeah,
do too.
they're awesome.
That's what actually originally drew me to the native store. I was like, dang, they got the best crystal shop ever. And I
It's
know that these
cute,
are going to be ethically sourced and the money's going to
Yeah.
go right back to the natives, so I support
Yeah.
this purchase.
Totally.
So I
Yeah.
was buying all my goods and service, all my goods there, you know.
All
so
their
it's-
beads and stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you go into the Native American trading post.
And then I
Get your card.
saw around the corner, I was getting my stuff, and I was like, oh, books? They have books? Because I'm a nerd and I like to read.
Do you know how to read?
Sometimes, a little bit,
I
fourth
wish I
grade
did.
level. But I went over and I was browsing their book section, and then I saw they had it's not even a tarot deck, it's crap.
Oracle cards.
Yes, but no. It's their own, the natives have their own tarot deck. It's got its own name.
Their totem.
Totem animal decks. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly what it's called, but I got this.
But if you do know what they're called, put it in the comments.
Man,
Please
you
do.
guys, I will remember the minute we log off, okay? But like, I don't remember it now. But I see it. It's a blue box. It's got a little bear on it. He's got little earrings and stuff. But yeah, so
A Rasta
Those
bear?
are gummy bears.
but I bought it because it was on sale, and I was like, someone returned this deck. There's no way that
That's
it's
wild to me.
It was on
That's
sale.
fucking wild.
It was
to me.
$9.97. Okay, it came with the
But
instructional
not
book
because
and
of that.
everything,
That's
but-
not why. That's not why I think it's wild. I'm like, you tainted this deck with your fucking and like your ancestors' energy and all your shit, and your guides and your angels, and then you're like, return to sender. What the fuck?
Welcome to Utah.
So
30-day return on anything about it.
Everything you just said made me go, normally we wouldn't purchase this because it should be my own, but...
But maybe it was meant to be yours. That's the only way I can make it
Yeah.
make sense.
And I remember I looked at it and I considered it, but I was like, this is like a native deck, and this seems like something very personal to their culture and their journey and something that they use. And it's not even like the regular tarot decks that I'm used to seeing or using, you know, or an oracle card or anything like that. It's completely different. And I was like, well, I don't know if this is appropriate for me to even dabble in.
It
And
makes
so-
me think that the original user, like did it for you.
That's a great way
Like,
of thinking
bless
of
the
it.
dead.
And again, I kind of was just going to throw this in there. Spiritually, I mean, if we all believe in soul and energy, right? Soul and energy doesn't technically, you already have an idea of belief or spiritual, right? So maybe a past now that was somebody else given back to you is the reason why it is that path you take.
Yeah. That's a great
You never know.
Yeah.
little journey.
I mean, I'm just saying that from my view because I love Slurpees.
Do
And
they
if you like
discontinued
blueberry fucking Slurpees,
No.
you're a bitch.
They discontinued sour green apple, and I'm never
What?
getting over
And there's a
it.
point. It's sour apple.
It's great.
That was
That's,
like a dream.
that's why
for me
fucking
when I was,
Skittles
like, 8.
sucks. So anyways.
So okay, let's
Sorry.
regain focus here.
Really?
So for me, my mind's eye was just like, okay, user was like, let me like see if this deck is right for me, and like called their spirits, angels, guides, and like knew that it was like for like that's what I think. Like I think that they like kind of blessed it and then like sent for you.
And it's also weird because
That's a
who
good
returns
point.
a tarot deck? How do you explain that to your merchant? I want to return this. Why?
Again, but
What
if you
was the reason?
but-
And
but-
in the
but
Native
again,
American
if
trading
you
post,
didn't-
that's why I feel like
But
very.
But again, if
like,
you didn't know what
like
the
that's the
tarot
only
deck
way.
was about, and it's your first time going, open or not, you don't know what you're opening. You don't. It could just be for you. You don't know. And the last person could have just done it to make a $10 fucking bet. You know what I
But I
mean?
was just browsing through it and I was just looking at all the books and I did. I stopped and I looked and I stared at it forever and I was like, I looked at it and I opened it up and I looked inside of it and I was like, it's not missing anything, it's not damaged, it's not broken, and all
Yeah.
everything that was in here. And I was like, no girl, it's not your journey. And then I was like, doop, 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 doop. And I just doing some extra shopping and I couldn't stop thinking. It was like when you crave chocolate, you're like, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna punch a baby if I don't eat my chocolate. That's
Yeah.
how it felt like. I was
I
like,
know
I have to
how that
fucking
feels.
You
I
want
have
to
to buy
punch
this.
babies?
Sometimes. Have you ever heard them cry? Just kidding.
No, I just shake the shit. No, just kidding. Just kidding. No. Please don't ever do it.
So
Please don't ever do
coming
it.
back.
We don't assault babies.
We
okay?
kick 'em.
That's
No,
the
we don't.
ultra rich.
Only nannies and stepdads do that.
So
Bad joke. Bad joke.
just to come full circle for those viewers who do not read tarot cards or who are interested in having their cards read, she does offer that service. And what we were talking about and why it was so appealing and interesting to me to navigate and explore the journey of her first deck was it is often found, I'm sure you've heard this, a lot of witches and like just people who are interested in dabbling in like the other realms, whatever, will say
The Hunchback.
that the Hunchback, yeah, of Notre Dame, burnt down though.
It's rebuilt.
Shits and cinders.
I went there.
Rebuilt.
Bless. Anyways,
Sorry. Throw you off.
a lot of people will say that you're supposed to be gifted your first deck. And I don't subscribe to that idea
don't either.
personally.
No.
Because like the fuck, I'm not gonna give myself everything I fucking want. I'm gonna like wait and cross my fingers that somebody's gonna see
It's a very
the most.
disempowering way to navigate your spiritual journey. You have to
Yeah.
wait for someone else to offer it to you. That's a
Fuck
weird.
that. I don't know
Yeah.
where that
No.
stemmed from, but a lot of people say you cannot
It's
get
gotta
yourself.
be a Western fucking philosophy.
Has to be right, easy, done and done. Book
Isn't that
closed.
the
We
pagan
figured that
way?
one out. No,
That's not
There's
Western.
no
That's the
way.
pagan way.
Absolutely,
The pagan way.
that's
You
not
can't
us.
follow the
I'm
path
pretty
of the
sure
spiritual
paganism
because the
is
spiritual has
I'm
come for you
like-
to go.
I'm like, pretty sure
I believe
we
that's the
don't.
pagan way. But again, I don't know. I don't know fucking nothing about.
Yeah,
Anything.
don't talk about my people like that. Any fucking how, if you want something in life, a tarot deck included, don't
Get
wait
happy.
for somebody else to get it for you.
Right.
But also,
That is
you'll
what I-
know. If it feels weird, if you feel like you're trying too hard or doing too much, or you're like, it's not easy, it's not coming to you, you don't feel like you need to have it, then it's not yours.
Yeah,
Again,
100%.
waiting
Sure.
for that spirit to
It's
show
kinda
you
like,
where to
it's like
go,
a puzzle
right?
piece. You just like, and then you're like, oh.
It's Badoop for you. For
Relief.
me, it's like, meow. What is it for you? Oh yeah, I can see that one clicking in for sure. For sure, I can see that too.
It's connected, but it's an explosion, kind of like an orgasm.
Is that what your orgasms are like?
No, it's more like.
Mine are more like.
Whoa.
Or
Oh no, I gotta clean up.
must be sleeping with women.
Oh, that's my favorite thing in life is sleeping with women.
That's your favorite thing in life?
Favorite
I mean,
thing,
it
sleeping
is
with
God's
women.
gift. But
Yeah.
It is a gift of all gods.
So, and speaking of greatest pleasures, where do you find yourself finding yours right now in life in your creative bindings? I don't want to call them bindings, although I find bindings to be beautiful.
Where do you get your
when they
trapper
bring you joy.
keeper of ideas?
Oh.
If you will.
All right, Trapper Keeper of Ideas. Where did the Trapper Keeper of Ideas come from? Well,
What's a trapper keeper?
that's...
The 80s kid.
Okay.
Ever
Sorry.
saw that movie Teeth?
You ever see
Ooh.
fucking Pro Skater
Trapper
from
Keeper.
89,
I never saw it either,
87,
but it's a
Pal
fucking
Peralta, Sean
I
Mitchell?
kind of
You'll
love
see
that
it.
idea.
Okay.
Anyway.
Trapper keeper.
But anyways, where do I get my Trapper Keeper of Ideas for my writing? It's kind of like similar to what we were just explaining. It's like I have this urge to do something or I need to finish something and it's this incomplete emotion. I don't know how else to describe it, but it's not an emotion.
Makes
It's a
fucking
feeling.
sense.
It's a feeling in my body and it goes, bitch, we got work to do. And this needs to be word vomited up and out of me. And usually it comes from a very emotional state. And so it's emotionally driven. And sometimes there's silly little poems that don't really have a whole lot of emotion in them. They're more just like statements, but they're statements that I feel strongly about. And I feel, I don't know how else to describe it, but just an inspiration. I feel inspired to write it. And then once it's finished, I either do or I do not post it publicly. That is also based on a feeling. Sometimes it's based on a little bit of insecurities because maybe I'm a little shy or maybe there's someone specific it's about who I don't want them yelling at me or trying to, make a defamation case against me or something like that. So certain things I keep to myself.
You know rich people?
I mean, I've dated a couple and I've written about them and they get
Fucking
mad
Hi,
about
Bill
it.
Gates.
Yeah. It's like, don't be acting like that if you don't
That's
like your
why I
truth,
don't like
you know?
them. I don't want a humble man. But
Me
yeah,
too.
the ideas, I think I think the best way for me to understand where my ideas come from is to understand when they stop coming.
Sorry.
But like,
Oh my god, it took me 6 months to get why you would laugh
Sorry.
at that.
Sorry.
Fucking hell. Okay.
Sorry.
because what I learned from my writer's block, and I hate that term now that I've understood it better. No one has writer's block.
It's-
What you have is a lack of experience. What you're not doing
Boom!
living
Fucking
your life.
yes.
Yeah, you must leave your house. If you're only going from your house to your job and then you feel like your creativity has been stifled, it's because you're not consuming enough life. Because the artist's job is to interpret life and to give it back to you and feed it to you in a way that makes you see it from a perspective that maybe you didn't see it or feel it from before. Poetry is not so much seeing, it's feeling.
I'm not a fan of 30 Seconds to Mars or Jared Leto, except his movies fucking
He was my neighbor.
So, but here's the thing.
New
He
York.
made a fucking
Is he
comment
so
once
sweet?
when you have the idea
Yes.
of writer's block, right?
Yeah.
You're supposed to change something. Get out, do something, but do something you never do. If you only like the Doritos fucking regular, right? And you hate the fucking
It
ranch,
can be that simple.
literally go eat a fucking bag of ranch and realize why you hate it.
Yeah.
Write about it and it will get that function of
Or even
something
sometimes
different.
it's
But I
just
mean,
a
something
switch,
out small,
yeah.
like just, I hate this. Yeah, remember why you hate it. Now explain why you hate it, and it gets the flowing going again. Try something different.
But the main area where I think a lot of my writing comes from, now that we know where it doesn't come from and how to get that inspiration, because I think that's a lot of artists, but like, where does it come from? I would say, 60, don't quote me, I'm not good at math, but maybe like 65% of my ideas, 75% of my ideas are inspired by conversations that I had with
You know,
people.
92% of all
So
percentages are
then
made
we're going to
up.
talk about something, and because we're connecting, it's meaningful to me. And so it's going to spark something in me, and I'm going to go home, and it's going to be that when you have a song stuck in your head, you can't get it out. I'm going to have this something on my brain. I'm going to be like, oh, it's just tussling with it, and then a line will appear. I'll be like, oh, shit, or a word will appear, and I pull up my Google Doc. I'm like, shit, bitch, write that down. And then sometimes a whole poem will flow out of me right then and there. Sometimes it's just a couple of lines, and I have to revisit it.
Do you actually
Or
like
I'll
thumb
go through
text
my-
it and write it in that fast?
So I'll go
That's
through.
how I do it with notes.
Can you?
I'll go through
Do
my
you-
Google Docs and I'll be like, all right, just starting a new poem. I'll just write something else, and then like that one gives me some writer's block because I start something and it's like, oh, I can't finish it. I don't know how. I don't know why. But then I'll scroll around. I'll see something old. I'll be like, oh, I can finish
And
that
it
now.
is- Yes, I
Yeah.
love that.
I've seen some quick little quote. I mean,
Hey, you-
poems or quick quotes or whatever. Do you have a favorite one you can share right now?
Oh, a favorite
It's
one?
on like.
right now, like your
Yeah.
favorite one now.
You're like it's on your.
She's lost her phone.
Oh,
Your
I've lost
Insta.
my
Well, your
phone.
Insta
I think
has
that's
it.
her phone right there.
You have a few
Is that her phone
one-liners
right there?
that are
On
pretty
the
cool.
couch?
Probably.
Right here.
I'm like, it's not on
Yeah,
my
is that
pocket.
your phone right there?
You need the phone?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
have
'cause-
anything
Well,
memorized.
I have one.
Especially
I
on
saw
camera.
someone like I just like
Don't worry, we'll
What is
edit
your
it.
one?
You
I want
say
to hear what your one
your
is.
favorite.
I'm always
Your
curious to see what people like.
your
because it's
favorite
never
one.
the same
Is that
as mine.
that's
Well, obviously, I love Nietzsche. Charles Bukowski's my favorite, but I will never have him tattooed on my body because he is so miserable and such a sexist, drunk pig. But I love him
Californication.
so
It's based
fucking
off
much.
of him.
Yeah.
I love Bukowski so much. Like, I feel like he would like me too. But that's like a secret. Like, that's like a little kid like sneaking chocolate in the middle of the night. Like, is my Bukowski shit because I had to stop reading him so much because I felt I felt his despair. You know. So I don't have any of him tattooed on me, but I do have Jack Kerouac. I have 2 quotes by Jack Kerouac, and my whole thigh is the only people for me are the mad ones.
Oh, I love
Which
that.
totally makes sense
Oh my
for
gosh.
this interview, which it's such a pleasure to meet you and know you, and I can't wait for more, you know?
Thank you.
Yeah, and the quote goes, and don't quote me on my quote, look it up. It's been
Comment down below if it's wrong.
it's been like 13 years since I got it, so throw me a fucking bone. But
That's not
it goes something like this. It's like the only people for me are the mad ones. Mad to talk, mad to be saved, mad to live, mad to fight, desirous of everything at the same time, who never say a commonplace thing but burn, burn, burn like fabulous Roman candles, spreading like spiders across the stars.
Damn.
Dang, you have a great memory. You guys, what did I eat for breakfast? This lady, give her fucking a raise.
what about
Dude.
Addie's quote? Like your own.
Do you have
Yeah.
your...
Of my own writing or just
Or just
any?
of
Your own
any?
writing.
Of any?
No, you have quick. You have a whole bunch.
My own? Okay.
You had your
Yeah.
phone out. I mean, that's
Yeah.
why we gave you the
Well,
phone.
put it
It's
down.
editable.
Okay.
It's
You got what you gotta
edible.
do.
I don't have a quote.
It's
I just have...
edible.
I've all day I've had
Hi,
the
Mom.
fucking song by Mr. Big. Hold on,
God.
little
And
girl.
this actually gives me time.
Tell me
Netflix.
what
Something
he's
singing
done to
against the
you.
tree.
That's something that's stuck in my head all
Is
day.
anyone in it?
Wake
No,
up,
the trunk is
little
fucking open.
girl.
Whatever they bought was stolen. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. That's all in my head all day.
I'm actually gonna look up the quote so I can, so he can edit it, and
No,
then I'll read it verbatim.
It's done.
It's straight up.
It's straight
Well, I
up.
want to see how
Straight up, tell
close
me,
I
do you
was.
really want to love me
Me
forever?
forever.
Ow, ow, ow. All you hitting is
The
right.
only people for me.
We gotta say it that way because the copyright.
Wait, okay, hold on. I got it.
All right, here we go.
I got it.
Are you getting it? Are you getting it? Got it. Get it, go.
Let's see how close this
Edit.
was to what I said.
So what's yours, Sosha?
The only people for me are the mad ones. The ones who are mad to live, mad to talk, and mad to be desirous. Wait, hold on. There's somebody, that one's fucked up. Hold
Action.
on.
You gotta zoom in on that shit.
Yeah, I know. That one.
Your memory's good. Your
Come
eyeballs
on,
are good.
little
Damn.
girl.
Okay. Yeah, that was like.
Like I have
so
my
that-
readers in the car.
Okay, the only people for me are the mad ones, the ones who are mad to live, mad to talk, mad to be saved, desirous of everything at the same time, the ones who never yawn or say a commonplace thing but burn, burn, burn like fabulous yellow Roman candles exploding like spiders across the stars.
You said it right the first time.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Fucking nailed it!
Didn't it? Didn't it?
Blue's Clues!
What about Addie?
Okay.
I like that one.
Alright,
All right.
hit us with some. Fuck, we don't need just one.
Okay.
Only one.
I'm like, I don't know.
Just
If I
Sean's
can
like,
pick
put
a
the fucking
favorite.
pressure
Just pick
on.
any.
man.
That
Doesn't
you-
matter.
Right now,
Okay.
whatever you pick will be the
Alright.
one that
Or
you want.
Dana will read it for you. Just say.
Oh, I can't read.
And do you have an extra one
I
of
need my
these?
readers.
At my house, I can bring you one. I'm just up the street, so
Oh no.
I would be honored to have one.
I'll get you one.
Girl, buy one. It's available on Amazon. Just look it
Oh,
up.
well, yeah, obviously I have Venmo on my phone, dude.
So tell me more about it. Okay.
That's why I was wondering if she had it in her car or not.
Alrighty, guys.
But purchase one on Amazon.
Would you say, oh my rigato?
I don't know.
Mr. Robato?
I don't know what I said.
I'm like, how many other languages do you speak? French?
3.
No.
She speaks 3.
Terror.
Yes.
I mean, if we include retardation stations, then yes.
Yeah,
And
3.
tarot
Me
card.
too.
For lack of better words, but in my defense, I do have a learning disability, so.
Who
Bullshit.
fucking does it, dude? The shit they put in our food. Anyway, back to you, Smalls.
McRib is back.
You make it sound like you're not purchasing the food.
Okay, this is
Dude, I
one
cook at
poem
home, like,
that
every
I
meal.
like that I found so
so
far.
I don't be.
Accountability.
And fresh organic ass shit, too.
You know what? This is a great one because it's related to my upcoming book, and it's probably going to be featured in it. So if you would like a little preview of what you might get in my next
Follow that Instagram. Follow that Amazon.
All right, this one I entitled Accountability. People don't always accept accountability. Sometimes it's got to come with force. There's honor in your boundaries and knowing what you're worth. Time stood still and then sped up. Now I'm struck with merciless hope. I hope the court throws the book at him and makes him pay for every stroke.
Damn.
Whoa! Whoa!
Damn.
How can you be accountable?
Sentencing is on the 27th, so we'll see.
Nice.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
That, like, hit me at my core. Wow.
Can we write a song about that?
Do
Yeah?
whatever you want. Yeah.
Do you sing?
I only know how to play
Not well,
the
but I
skateboard.
sing all day.
Fuck
Would-
yeah.
Singing on my way here.
Best answer of all
Could you-
time.
Yeah.
Chapel Roan, do you see those high notes that she hits? I'm like, me too.
Just hit that shit in the shower.
We used to do a show where you
Iconic
read your
Chappelle
poetry.
Roan.
Again.
I play my bass.
Hey, see, now we have all our artists part of a thing called the Artocast. Like, all our guests, musical, if they're artists, they sell merchandise, whatever.
Oh.
It's lovely the social that has this. It's great, amazing.
Beautiful.
But if you would ever want to be a part of it and just do a poem or two,
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
bring a book, maybe the newest book.
Or even a show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, and we can bring the other one too and like set up. I have a comic
What?
book stand, which would be great
What?
to like put them up.
Say comic books then?
Yeah, for my comic books.
You have
make
comic
comic
books? Well, we said that at the same time, Jinx.
No one ever expects me to collect comic books. It's such a stereotype. Hot girls like comics too.
Guess
hottest
what?
ones.
They say that about me getting laid. I do!
Hot girls like comic books too. Okay.
Okay,
You would be a fucking super fan of my comic book collection,
Whoa.
though. High key.
I like to
I-
Comic-Con.
What's in your collection?
Okay, I have a lot of like it's super heavy duty femme superheroes.
Oh,
Like
yes.
yeah, like I have so much Barbarella. Like I have Xena, Barbarella.
Oh,
I have Vampirella. Like
Aw.
Sean's like, I don't give a fuck.
You're
Can I
good.
please do the music to any of these fucking videos? Like, I could already hear that.
I want like the Wednesday Addams. one.
Yeah, like totally
When
Batman
Wednesdays-
original, dude. Like fucking
Anyways, we'll discuss that later. Well,
get
yeah,
there, we'll
we
get
can
there.
talk about my comic book collection
Thank
another
you.
time. But hot girls do like
Do
comics
you want
too.
to talk about your sobriety?
Oh.
It's up to you. We don't have to.
Yeah, I would actually love to. It even ties into this book.
What's that book
Funny thing
again?
Very cool.
So, fun thing, if you ever purchase my book, something I recently did, just on principle, was I halved the price. Not quite, if you know math, it's not quite half, but I halved the price.
Math rules.
It should be, I have to double check that
We'll
Amazon
get there
did it
with-
right.
but you'll see the link down below.
$5.99 on
That's
Amazon
a
right
fucking
now.
steal.
It's basically free, okay guys? It might be $6.99.
Is that free
I don't
shipping?
remember.
Unless you
If
only have Prime.
If you
Yeah,
have Prime.
yeah.
I'm not that bougie. I can't pay for shipping yet. If you buy more books, I will be able to.
Do you
5 or
get,
more.
how much percentage do you get? Is it better for people to DM you to
Yes.
purchase directly from you versus Amazon?
Unless
Again, DMs, calm the fuck down. You better be fucking nice.
Reel it in. Keep your class in your pants.
if
Or
you're
your pants in your
outside of
class.
Utah, if I have to ship it to you outside of Utah, it's probably better for you based on the price that it is now to purchase online.
Under 48.
Just because I'd have to cover shipping costs, and that's like
Under the 48.
$8 usually.
Under the
Ship out of
48.
state,
Alaska,
which is
Hawaii,
for
you're
me.
fucked. Pay more.
So it could be more for you. If you want me to ship it out to you, I'll ship it out to you. But just save yourself some money. Buy it on Amazon. But I do earn more money because they take 60%. So
So do you want to
Thanks,
give us
Bezos.
just like a, okay, so
It's
you
less than
touched,
kisses, but really,
I
were
would
kiss
pay
my
$2.50
asshole.
for each copy.
we were touching on a few brief ideas that you said do get brought up in here, but do you want to give us and the audience just an idea about this specific book?
Oh, sure, yes.
So that
And
like,
the sobering-
let's just get like a
sobering
great
behind
idea
it.
about it.
Sobriety.
Okay, so this book I wrote in the midst of my sadness. Mostly it was because I felt very alone and disconnected and lost, and I felt like the people around me didn't understand me, or maybe I didn't know how to bring it to them in a way that was digestible, as we were
Wow.
discussing earlier, you know? And I was writing for my own personal healing, and then I had this name, Dualities of a Gemini Moon. Well, first the book was originally just supposed to be called Dualities. And then I realized, because I was going through my witchy journey of love and light and doom, I learned, you know, I'm a Gemini moon and how important that is to me. And I was like, duality is the Gemini. And this is
Yeah.
based on my emotions. And so I was like, Gemini moon, bitch,
Wow.
shut the fuck up. Because in here you get a whole lot of me. You get the sad me, you get the angry me, you get the happy me, you get the empowered me, you get the
I love
focused
that.
me, you get a motivated me, you get an aspirational me, and then you get the me that doesn't give a fuck, you know?
I love
My
that.
favorite poem is actually in this book. I forgot.
Is it, would you,
Do you want me to read it right now?
do you want to read a part of it? I mean, I don't know how long, we would love to have it
It's
all.
no more than
Do you want to give us a
Time do we
taste
have?
test?
Do we have time?
Okay.
You want to read it?
Yeah, I got time.
And tell
Okay,
everyone
fine,
what
you got
page
time.
number it is, too, so when they buy it, they know.
Well,
Oh, this
they
one.
can find it while
On
they're reading it.
Amazon
Okay.
at $5.99 plus shipping. and
Page
handling.
99.
I got 99 prompts, and this
And
is
it's
one.
the poem on the bottom. That's why I halved my price, because I was drunk when I formatted and published my own book by myself.
I love this.
And it did not ask for any help, and so the formatting is a little bit wackadoodle. Like chapter like here's one poem, and then it says chapter 7 right there, and then the chapter
think that's the best part.
starts here. So, but based on the poem that I'm about to start reading, it's kind of fitting, and that's why I didn't really care to change it, because I was like, you know what?
It's part of the journey like the book is.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have had it any other way. I think that's fucking brilliant.
I
and
think you should
remarkably
do it right
beautiful.
now, and we'll end the episode with
Yeah.
the beautiful voices. Your
Oh.
beautiful
Yeah.
voice, too.
Okay.
Hey.
All right. But are we ready?
Mhm.
Ready?
Are you ready?
I
I'm
don't
buckled
know.
up. Better good.
Okay.
Are you
All right.
ready?
All right. This
Kiss Angel.
one, I did not title it for some reason, but if I were to title it, oh yeah, because back in this day, it was hard for me to title poems. I don't know how to do that, but I would probably just title it Imperfection or something like that. But
Done.
anyways, page 99, the second poem starts at the bottom. It says, "There is something magical about loving something which, to the untrained eye, appears to be less than perfect, not yet whole. Because to an aware eye, one can see that these things and people are exactly as they should be right now. They are perfect when flawed, always whole. I wonder if my ability to find beauty and purpose in broken things and people stems from the hurt I felt when people incorrectly perceived me, discarded me for being damaged, overlooked for the cracks on my surface, the discoloration of my purpose, when others told me I am not worthy because I am less than perfect. I feel it is a gift to see perfection and purpose in the people and things that others have deemed worthless. You are not broken, you are different. Your authenticity scares the inauthentic. My hope is that one day, the people on this planet may view their reality through artistic lenses, to find beauty, use, and pleasure in all that they once deemed mundane. For once you update your perspective, you'll find beauty in the imperfect.
Thank you
you
for sharing
Thank you.
On the
that.
show.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing
And come back
that.
anytime.
And you're welcome to come back.
As much as you like.
Thank you.
Especially
That's
the new
so
book
great.
comes out.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll do this.
I'll give you a date when I actually
Okay.
get to editing.
I
but
finally get a
I don't want
date.
to do a date until I
Wow.
get to editing.
I finally get a date.
I'm a natural artist. I'm not
Like,
under
you just,
contract.
I'm like typical artist, which is the subject immediately after sharing
So
the
question.
favorite.
So again, how do they find
I'm
you
like-
on
I'm
Instagram?
still in
Sign
it, girl. You're like, bye.
How do
Good night,
they find
everybody.
you? How do they find you on Instagram? How do they find you on Instagram?
Siren writing. Just
All right, sign and writing.
siren writing. That's it.
And that's it.
Good night,
my
You don't get
everybody.
any fatter.
Good night, America.
There's a difference between lovemaking and getting fucked. When someone fucks you, they defile you. You must acknowledge the role you play in the desecration. To be fucked means there is an absence of love. Then, what does it mean to include love? It means you both find value in the union and treat it as a spiritual offering, giving from one to the other, reciprocal considerate service. Your needs are each met before, during, and after your sensual fun. You can do what you want. You accept what you desire. Don't lie to yourself about where your desires are from. I'm in love with honoring my body and every ache within my heart. I will not tolerate being devoured by a man who does not value me enough. I have no more space on my shelves, so I have scattered piles of books around my home, desperately holding on to the things I have yet to make room for. Dust settles and I wait to clear it, remnants of possibilities, hopeful yet mourning what has ceased. The spines of unread books mock me, they sing, "Glory, hallelujah." I broke my back to own them. They adorn me for not charging rent. Being a collector of interesting things has not offered respite. I must clear my shelves of the books that will never serve me. Showing off my collection has yet to earn me friends. I must make room in my heart for art I've yet to envision. I must dust off the parts of my soul still attached to unbridled provisions. Oh, dearest June, I offer unto thee my deepest gratitude. I've received blessing after blessing. Never in my life have I so many benedictions consumed. I promise to remember this good fortune forever. I will always make sure to earn my blessings with grace. I vow to pay it forward with acts of service. I will show my appreciation whenever hardships are faced. I still don't know how it happened, why you chose to bestow unto me these good times and great fortune after a long life of suffering. I will not take this for granted. I promise to honor these wins. I am so grateful you have supported my growth and forgiven my cardinal sins. Siren song. You're too wonderful and I'm too vulnerable, I cannot pretend. Not a moment longer, I am unarmed, cannot defend. Your aesthetic is bulletproof chic, humble and aloof. Mine is love-drunk, delirious, obsessed, my muse. I am shedding layers, no longer holding on. When things are meant to end, I leave my lovers with a song. From the depths of my ocean, I bid thee farewell. To continue feasting on your flesh will leave us both unwell. Oh, sailor, never forgotten. No regrets inside my head. I have enjoyed myself, but every siren song must end.
need something.